Hi, it's Therese and I'm here for Altenew and playing with this sketched evergreen stamp set. It's a fantastic tree and it's a 3-layered tree. Now I'm going to be doing a really quick and easy way to create some Christmas cards because we all know how much we run out of time this time of year, and it's great to get them started early. So I'm just working out where I want my base layer of the tree. So this is the solid part of the image. And I'm using my MISTI to help me and the grid lines to make sure it's fairly straight. I am going to be cutting this panel down and making multiples of this same design. So that's where the MISTI really comes into its own. So if you are doing multiples of anything, it is a really handy tool to have. Now I do start off using all 4 magnets on my cards, but what you'll notice is that I'm actually using the edge of the actual the MISTI tool itself. So every time I put my cardstock in, I wanted a hot pink tree and I did try one of the lighter colors first, and it wasn't quite bright enough for me, so I've come back and I've used this as one of the newer colors called Puffy Heart. So because I've used the MISTI, I can just easily stamp over top of that. But each time I put my cardstock in, you'll notice that I have actually positioned it up so it's touching the right hand corner. And that means that each time I put my next card, so this is a top fold card, and I'm working directly on the front of the card. So each time I put the cardstock into the MISTI tool, I put it in exactly the same place. So watch me over time, I will actually go less and less magnets. You don't really need the magnets. While I've got you here, I thought I'd show you the new, this is all the colours from Altenew, and you can get this chart from their website, and I will try and remember to put the link below, but you can actually map out all the colours that you have. And I was just choosing what colours I'd like to use on my second card. So this is the base layer of my second tree, and it's called Volcano Lake. It's a really, really pretty set of teal greens. And so I'm making 3 of each card here. So for my second layer of the tree, what I've done there is just protect my tree while I place and position my stamp in the right spot by using a piece of acetate. The second colour that I'm using on the teal tree is called Lagoon. And I did actually double stamp that. I can't remember if I did it on all the images. I think I did. Just to get it a little bit darker. I just felt the emerald was probably going to be a bit too dark, but by double stamping the Lagoon, I got sort of an in-between colour, which was perfect. My second layer for the pink, or what I'm calling my hot pink tree, is the purple wine colour, and this is sort of in those purple tones of pink. So like I said, I'm going to cut these all down, and when you're doing production line cards, it's much easier to do each step as you go rather than do each card independently, because everything's all set up, you're ready to go, you're in mode. And I do all my stamping at the same time, I do all my cutting at the same time, and just work my way through all of the panels. So I've worked out where I want to snip off the bottom of the card and to the side, and I'm going to be doing some fussy cutting. So the good thing about this Fiskars trimmer is I can see exactly where I'm cutting to, and that way I can just cut it straight up until where I'm going to be doing my fussy cutting. I use that guide wire to help me there. Then I can just get my scissors. These are just some detail scissors, and I can cut around the edge of each of the trees until I'm sort of happy. I am leaving a really small white border there, and this didn't take very long at all because I'm not having to fussy cut the whole thing, but it just gives that little bit of an edge to the card. It makes it a bit unique. Now I did actually cut my cards on because I have a big trimmer as well, which I can't sort of fit on camera, but I just thought I'd show you another way that you can actually cut that back of the panel because it won't fit in my little trimmer. I just use a metal ruler and a sharp craft blade to trim off the back of that. My sentiment comes from the same set, and I'm using the same technique yet again, all the cards at the same time. This is the jet black ink, and I'm going to be putting some bright baubles on the tree, so I thought it'd be really good for the sentiment to say merry and bright. And these sentiments are in the set, and they're all sort of separate, so I can try and stamp things at the same time, but I wanted to overlap my sentiments. And sometimes, just to get them in the right spot, you're better off to stamp them separately, because the edges of the stamp are further away than what you want the sentiments to be. So the Mary that I wanted to use was in a different font. I didn't want to use the big Mary, so I have actually cut my stamp just so that it will make it easier for me to stamp this. And if I do need to, I can always set it back together to use it again, but it doesn't bother me. But if it did bother you, you can simply just do some selective stamping and mask off the section of the stamp that you don't want to have stamped out. I'm using my black ink again, and I won't show you it all, but basically I do the same thing on all the cards again. While it's all set up ready to go, I keep tucking the card right into the same corner. Now for the word "and," there's this really beautiful ampersand in the set, and I didn't want to do it in black because it would make it hard to see. I didn't want to do it in a colour. I thought the grey would look really pretty. So that's the Morning Frost ink that I'm using there. And I just do the same thing, work my way through all 6 cards at the same time. And each time I can just tuck it into the corner of the Misty tool, and I know it's exactly in the right spot. As a final touch, like I said, I wanted it to be bright and merry and bright, I should say. I have created some Nouveau dots, and on both cards just chosen 3 colours that would suit. And the good thing about these dots is they're very inexpensive, so you can feel like you can add heaps of them without being sort of wasteful. So I've got my matte medium, adding that beneath the dots. I just use my craft knife to help me get them placed and set them aside. They don't take too long to dry with the matte, but you just do have to give it a few minutes. And that's my finished cards for today. Thanks for joining me. I've had heaps of fun. Till next time, happy paper crafting. Bye.